Hello, folks, and welcome to the NBC Hoops Shootaround, once again presented by Purina Dog Chow. Help keep him strong, Dog Chow strong. My name is Derek Dockett, Assistant Commissioner of New Media and Technology at the Missouri Valley Conference, and again joined by our NBC Hoops analyst, Adam Immenecker. Adam, what's up?
I'm excited, Derek. The conference has been fun so far. I'm looking forward to teams getting into the second half and seeing if they can duplicate the success the second time around.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be another interesting ride as we get into the second half of the season here. But want to look at a couple of teams here and see what might happen as we transpire down the road to Arch Madness. First of all, Northern Iowa, definitely a team that's had some ups and downs of late. Being consistent in league playoffs, it's always a challenge because you get to that second half of league schedule and teams have seen you before.
Yep.
What do you think is going to be some of the keys for the Panthers in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think when you look at this Northern Iowa Panther basketball team, the one thing that stands out more than anything else is the fact that they can beat anybody. So they have the experience and they have the talent. It's just to this point they've lacked that consistency, as you've mentioned. So they have offensive firepower more so than they have in past years. They're scoring in the 80s and the 90s way more than I've ever seen under Coach Ben Jacobson. So it's a little bit different makeup of a team, and maybe that's part of what leads to that inconsistency. But they're a team that can easily knock off a Wichita State and Indiana State. People don't want to go into Cedar Falls, into the McLeod Center, and have that game hanging over their heads.
Absolutely, definitely one of the tougher places to play in the league. Shifting gears to Evansville, Coach Marty Simmons trying to right the ship. Aces started out a little slow in conference play, but trying to get things back in order. What do you think how the Aces get things going on their end of the table?
Yeah, and I think that's a good another team to bring up, especially since we're seeing the matchup with UNI and Evansville here coming up. But they struggled big with those early losses. They lost to Drake by a big margin, Indiana State and UNI. But since then they have 2 wins, and their 2 losses are by a combined total of 4 points. So they're starting to play a heck of a lot better. They're getting a little bit more consistent. Can they turn the corner? Can they go from a team that's just going to kind of be up and down a little bit to a team that's going to be a little bit more solid and consistent, which is what we've come to expect over Marty Simmons basketball clubs. In the past years, we've seen Colt Ryan really be the linchpin of that, but DJ Ballantyne having a great year so far this season. He just needs a little bit more support on the offensive end to carry them from a team that can win some games to a team that can win a lot more games.
Absolutely. As folks see the stats on the screen now, DJ Ballantyne, one of our league leaders in scoring, in that conversation for potentially our Larry Bird Player of the Year. Down in Springfield, Missouri State, hit by the injury bug of late. Keith Pickens out, Marcus Marshall out for the season.
Yeah.
Wow, that's definitely tough when you've had the returning freshman of the year. What do you think? How the Bears sort of get things going on their end without their team leader, Marcus Marshall?
Yeah, well, I think you look at their game against Wichita State. They had a big lead going into halftime and then kind of came back and lost in overtime to the Shockers. Played them really tough as anyone has all year. But the hard part about that game, the emotional letdown, was losing Marcus Marshall. Out of that, they lose a couple more in a row, so they end up losing 3 straight, which is something that would be a little unusual for this team. But I think they've start to come to terms a little bit with the fact that Marcus Marshall's not going to be in the lineup, so they have to make some adjustments. They've had a few guys step up. Ron Movica's had a couple of good games. Obviously, Gully is a really solid player and someone who's done it for the past couple of years. And another guy, Mr. Reuter, the three-point shooter, a guy that as a freshman stepping up with no fear to shoot it from the outside. So, I think they're starting to come into their own a little bit and understand that they have to find a different way to win. They've won 2 in a row now, so can they continue to build, continue to get a little bit better going through the second half of the conference season?
All right, and finally, how can we not look forward on the conference schedule? February 4th, the return match, if you will, Wichita State going to Indiana State this time. Yep. What do you think? That first matchup, everyone looked forward to it, and the Shockers really came to play. What do you think happens the second time around?
They did, and the difference was it was in Cook Arena. It was on the Wichita State to Terre Haute. So Indiana State has shown that at times during that game they played pretty well. Wichita State dominated from start to finish for the most part, but Indiana State played pretty well. And what you get is you get a little bit of confidence from playing them and knowing that, listen, they're the number 5 team in the country right now. They're 21-0 at this point, Wichita State, but they're human. And we know we've been on the same floor with them. It's not a team it's not an insurmountable task. So Indiana State, if they can continue to pick up wins, continue to get a little bit better, I think that's a showdown that I know it's something I'm looking forward to. I know any Missouri Valley fan is going to keep a close eye on that one as well.
All All right, Adam, thank you very much. And one final note, we want to give a special shout out to Missouri Valley Conference Senior Associate Commissioner Patty Verito. She was recently inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, along with Missouri State former swimming and diving head coach Jack Stegg. Congratulations to them both as they have been inducted to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Adam, appreciate your insights, sir. We look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the games coming up, Derek. Have a good one.
All right, you too. This has been the MSC Hoops Shootaround presented by Purina Dog Chow. Help keep them strong. Dog Chow strong. We'll talk to you again soon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us.